Hey everybody, this is Malik again with Cloud Adoption Solutions, and today we're going to show you how to automate your next steps field on your opportunities. Using this flow that I'm about to show you is a great way to make sure you keep a history of the values that were in this next step field by creating them into tasks, and also it makes sure that you're able to show the most current step that should be taken for an opportunity. Now, the way that you want to set up this flow is to first create a record triggered flow. So you're going to do a record triggered flow on the opportunity, and it will trigger when an opportunity record is updated. And you want to set the entry criteria to be whenever the next step field is changed. And once you set that up, you're going to go to add a decision element to the flow. Now right here, we're checking if the next step field was null before the record was edited. So to do that, you want to use the record prior field, and that will be, so you're not going to choose this one. You're going to choose the one that says record prior opportunity, and then you'll type in next steps, and you'll select the is null operator, and you'll put true here in the value. So that way the flow is checking if the next step field was empty beforehand, before the flow was triggered. Before the record was updated. And if it was, then the flow won't create a task because otherwise it will just be creating a task for an empty field, and it'll be a blank task with nothing to add. So once you do that, you're going to want to add a assignment element. So here you're going to set the description of the task to equal the record prior next step like we had in the decision element. So this makes sure that the information that you had in the next step field before it was edited gets put into the task that you're creating for it. For the subject, you want to create a formula for the subject of the task, and you're going to use the left function. And you're also going to put the record prior next step value in this section, and you're going to put 12. You can put any number of characters you want. I just put 12. You could put 5 or whatever you want. That just means it's counting the amount of characters from the left of the text that's in the field, and is going to input that as the subject for the task. And then I added these 3 ellipses at the end. I added these ellipses at the end just because we don't know if the text in the next step field is going to be ended a complete sentence or not. So that way it just these ellipses show that the text is going to be continuing, which will be in full. The full text would be in the description on the task. So after you set that up, you're going to want to assign the task to the last person that modified it, and then the status you can set to completed. This is the assumption that you're updating the task. You're updating the next step field because that step that you're deleting from the next step field was already completed, and you're going to set the priority to normal or whichever one fits your need. The relay ID you're going to set to the ID of the opportunity that triggered the flow. And then you're also, to assign all of this, you want to create a record triggered variable not record triggered variable. You're going to want a record variable on the task object. And using that, you would be able to assign all of these for the task. So when you create the record trigger for variable, when you create the record variable, you would select it there and select the field that you want to assign there. Once that's done, you're going to add a create records element, and you're going to add the record variable to the create element to create the record based off of the assignments that the field assignments that we assigned in the previous element. And once all that's done, you're going to save it and activate it. And we'll go to this opportunity. So we have this next step field. It says 1 step forward. We're just gonna replace it with some gibberish, and we'll click save. So that's our new next steps that we have to take on this opportunity. And if we go to the activities, we see it's created a task for us called next step forward. And if we look in the comments, which is just another word for description, it has replaced it with the complete text of the next steps. And if we do this again for this next steps, and we change it to and then we hit save. If we check our activities again, there we go. We see that it's created a task for the previous value of the next step field right here. And if there's anything else that needs to be added, you can also just add those as well. If you have any contacts that are specifically should be related to the task, you can assign that also. Thank you guys for tuning into our channel. We are Cloud Adoption Solutions. Feel free to reach out to us for any of your Salesforce needs.